The sophisticated 7th generation G20 version of BMW's 3 Series Touring holds no great surprises to those who understand the narrative of this model. It's not the most accomplished load lugger in the class, but it's the best drive, and it offers efficiency figures that are difficult to beat. That'll be enough to clinch the deal for most who just hanker after a 3 Series with a bit more versatility. The well-versed themes of the 3 Series are present and correct in this G20 generation touring model. Much is familiar here as a front engine rear-wheel drive formula with near perfect 50-50 weight distribution. That has defined the 3 Series to date, and this 7th generation model doesn't deviate too far from that script. But also much is different. The company's xDrive 4-wheel drive system is more widely available across the lineup, and BMW's engineers were given permission to add in more of a sporting edge to this G20 design, being aided in that quest by this Mark 7 model line's adoption of the aluminium-rich cluster architecture platform that's these days used by the brand's larger models. This has provided a platform that's 25% stiffer, and it's been a major contributor to weight savings over the previous F30 series model of up to 55 kilos. From this optimum starting point, the development team then added in a whole range of handling updates, the most significant addition being the special so-called lift-related dampers. These clever shock absorbers incorporate structures that provide extra damping at the extremes of wheel travel, and they are standard on all models, allowing quite a firm sporting setup to be adopted, but it's also one that's able to deliver a fluent ride over tarmac imperfections. Now, thanks to all that, this car is able to combine a setup for Silverstone with something that works equally well on the North Circular. Upgraded 4-cylinder 2-litre engines from BMW's Efficient Dynamics family. They're used across the power plant range, and that kicks off for petrol people with the 156 HP 318i variant and the 184 horsepower 320i. The 320i's 4-cylinder unit additionally features in the 330e plug-in hybrid model that we're trying here. Plus it's also used in uprated 258 HP guys in the brawnier 330i. If you want 6 cylinders, you'll need the 374 horsepower engine of the rare M340i. The diesel lineup kicks off with the 150 horsepower 318D, but most buyers prefer the 190 horsepower 320D derivative, which slots into the range just below the 265 horsepower 6-cylinder 330D and the top M340D with 340 horsepower. The brand's xDrive 4-wheel drive system is optional on the 320i, the 320D and the 330D, and you have to have it on the M340i and the M340D. A new generation 6-speed manual gearbox is available, although only on the 318D and the 320D diesel variants. Most buyers of those models, though, will want to pay extra for the 8-speed automatic gearbox, which is mandatory with all the other engines. Efficiency is class leading. A rear-driven version of the 320D is capable of up to 57.6 mpg on the WLTP combined cycle and 129 grams per kilometre of WLTP rated CO2. For this 330e plug-in petrol hybrid, which can go up to 37 miles on a single charge, the figures are up to 201.8 miles per gallon and up to 32 grams per kilometre. It won't surprise you to learn that from the front bumper to the B-pillar, the 3 Series Touring is identical to the saloon model. Let's give you some figures. This G20 version of the estate variant has larger exterior dimensions than its predecessor. It's grown by 76 millimeters to 4,709 mils in length, by 16 mils to 1,827 mils in width, and by 11 mils to 1,440 mils in height. Got all that? Well, we're going to be asking questions later. You want to know about the boot, and that's accessed via a standard powered tailgate. Choose a conventional engine and you'll find that it's 500 litres in size. That's 5 litres bigger than the previous generation 3 Series Touring design, and it's 20 litres bigger than the boot of the alternative saloon version of this same G20 generation 3 Series model. BMW reckons those stats don't tell the whole story, pointing out that the boot is up to 112mm wider than the predecessor design, and its loading aperture is 30mm higher and up to 125mm wider in its upper section. The loading sill is slightly lower at 616mm, and the step between it and the boot floor has been reduced in height from 35mm to 8mm, all of which makes it much easier to load large, heavy items of luggage. Bear in mind, by the way, if you choose this 330e plug-in variant, boot capacity falls to 410 litres. What about if you need more space? Well, use these cargo sidewall catches to fold the seats flat in a conventional 3 Series Touring model, and there's a maximum capacity of 1500 litres. With this 330e plug-in version, the total falls to 1420 litres. The rest of the car, of course, is exactly the same here as it would be if you'd chosen a 3 Series saloon. Let's take a seat up front, where for the first time in a 3 Series Touring with this G20 series model, you're guaranteed the feel of a proper luxury car, even in the lower echelons of the range, surrounded as you are by widescreen, chrome garnished, expensively elegant cabin architecture. The media features will obviously be quite a talking point. This M Sport trim model gets the full live cockpit professional package, which gives you a 12.3-inch virtual instrument binnacle screen and a 10.25-inch centre dash iDrive monitor. Okay, let's take a seat in the rear. Inside, sure enough, there's certainly more room to stretch out than was the case with the previous F30 generation 3 Series Touring model, the distance between the front and rear seats having been extended by 11mm. There is slightly more headroom than there was before too, and BMW says that this cabin is now wide enough to take 3 child seats side by side, although only the 2 outside positions come with ISOFIX attachment points. The 3 Series Touring range mainly occupies the £33,000 to £50,000 bracket, and it comes in 4 trim levels: SE, Sport, M Sport and M Sport Pro Edition. Key rivals include the Audi A4 Avant, the Mercedes C-Class Estate and the Volvo V60. Ideally though, you'd want this M Sport model, which features large air intakes at the front end, to combine with an equally distinctive design for the side skirts and the rear apron. Now these elements are joined by BMW individual high gloss shadowline trim, kidney grille bars in high gloss black, air intake trim in high gloss black and a rear diffuser in dark shadow. Heated sports seats with Alaska leather, an M leather steering wheel, an anthracite coloured BMW individual headliner and interior trim strips in aluminium tetragon are standard at this level. Since its launch in 1987, more than 1.7 million examples of the 3 Series Touring have hit the roads, with this 7th generation model's immediate predecessor alone accounting for more than 500,000 of those. In other words, this 3 Series Touring station wagon has long been one of the quiet achievers in BMW's model range. Now there's a reason for that. Look behind the low-key styling and you'll find a car that does so much so well. True, it's not vastly practical, but the changes that BMW has made to the cargo area have had more of a real-world impact than the stats suggest, and pragmatic estate buyers will appreciate the fact that this car is the most efficient choice that you can make in the premium part of the mid-sized estate sector. A lot to like then, which is just as well given the premium prices that are being asked. Still, if you are shopping in this sector, we think you'll continue to find this contender difficult to ignore.